TikTok is banned. TikTok is banned. No more degeneracy. Bye bye degeneracy. No more watching people cry on the internet for 30 seconds trying to garner sympathy from others who don't care. No more people trying to get attention off of TikTok and their brains being fried by having TikTok brain. No more stupid dances that have taken over the world and all these trends. No more of this nonsense. No more TikTok. The world is saved. Or is it really? If you really think that this TikTok ban is going to last a long time, you got to read deeper than the first sentence of the article, the first sentence of the pages. TikTok, although it may be gone for the time being, it's not going to be gone for long. It's too valuable in the US especially for it to just be gone like that. Now, me personally, I don't care. I've never had TikTok and I could care less what happens to TikTok. But for all these people, especially with Trump about to be elected into office, anything is possible. But the way I see it, my message is don't think that TikTok will be gone for long. If it is, great. If not, then well, we all knew what to expect. Now, the way I look at this, I've come to four different conclusions as to what could happen in this scenario. The first one being extremely unlikely because the world is already too far gone to realize this, but they're going to realize that TikTok was a cancer. They're going to realize that TikTok was making people do things that they would never do. It's going to make people realize that we are backwards as a society, that most people have no idea what's going on in the world. People were asleep. People have TikTok brain, and society's going to go back to the way it was. People are going to realize that, not even just TikTok, but social media in general was making people do and believe things that they shouldn't be believing in. Common sense is going to come back. But we all know that's highly unlikely. That's not going to happen. The second one is that the second theory or the second potential possibility that's going to happen is a new app is going to form. A new app that's going to replace TikTok, that's going to be even more of an attention hit, a dopamine hit, is going to hit the App Store. And people are going to start using that. For those of you that have been on social media for a long time, I'm sure you remember Vine, right? Vine, that app that was just like TikTok, identical to TikTok, but somehow it was back in, I want to say 2013 to 2016 was its popularity. That was its prime. And then it just disappeared. It got discontinued. Then a couple years later, I don't even remember. I think TikTok came out around 2019, 2020 or something like that. And now TikTok had its run all the way up until 2025. But my second my second conclusion as to what could happen in this scenario is another app is going to form. Another app is going to be created by somebody. Another TikTok, another Vine is going to happen, and people are just going to migrate to that. But for the time being, people are just going to use YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms that have reels, and they're going to create their own. They're going to create their basically TikTok 2.0 until that app happens. Now, when will that app be created? If it will be created, your guess is as good as mine. Somebody who's desperate enough to want to make money, somebody who wants to have the TikTok platform back. It's honestly, it's almost inevitable that something like this is going to happen. The third potential possibility as to what may happen, and it's already happening, honestly. People are losing their minds. People now have to get a real job. TikTok influencers have to get a real job. Nobody's going to pay them for their dances. Nobody's going to pay them for their professional advice. Everybody's going to look at them and say, go get a real job. And it's really unfortunate when I think about it, because most of these TikTokers, half of them quit their jobs to become TikTokers. Half of them, they they don't even have a resume. They don't have work experience. So if they go get a job, when they go get a job, it's what's your what experience do you have on your resume? What type of work experience do you have? And that resume is going to be blank. You're going to see more and more unemployed people. You're going to see more and more people on the streets having to move back home with their parents, just lacking basic life skills, basic work skills. And whose fault is that? It's TikTok's fault. Social media's fault. Social media has created a generation of people that have no life skills. Social media has created a generation of people that can't function without technology. They don't even go outside. When people are outside, their phones, their eyes are glued to their phones. They don't know how to interact. You're gonna see TikTok brain firsthand when you interact with people. You're gonna see the firsthand experience of people's mental health deteriorating because they don't know how to cope without that dopamine hit, that 10, 20, 30-second reel of just scrolling, trying to figure out, okay, what video is going to capture my attention? What am I waiting for? You're going to see psychologists. Psychologists are going to be making a lot of money. You're going to see antidepressants go through the roof. You're going to see medical problems go through the roof, psychological problems go through the roof. People aren't ready for this immediate people aren't ready for this immediate cease of a popular application like TikTok. It's just like coronavirus. People were not ready for when COVID hit. And now, you know what? Now that I think about it, this brings me to another one. This could potentially be a test. This could potentially be a test to see how people react. Just like how people reacted, just to see how people reacted during coronavirus, this could also be a test to see how people react with the deletion of TikTok. So you will see people's mental health deteriorating. We already see it now. We already see people going crazy without TikTok. What are they going to, because TikTok, you got to look at it from this perspective. TikTok was some people's livelihood. TikTok was how people paid the bills, how they basically lived. And it's just gone overnight. You don't know what's going to happen. It could happen at any time. And a lot of these people just aren't prepared. They rely so heavily on TikTok. Goes back to my other point. Lack basic common sense, basic life skills. You always have to have an emergency plan if something like this happens. And then the fourth conclusion, the fourth theory that could play out into all of this, and honestly, it kind of already happened, because there was an article that came out this morning that said Trump is going to reinstate, not really reinstate, but he's going to put like he's going to sign an executive order on Monday so that TikTok has a grace period for the next 90 days. This scenario right here is honestly the most plausible. Why? Because of money, publicity, and the sheer power of TikTok. Now, what does that mean? TikTok was the most popular social media platform in recent years. I think it had more accounts created than all the other social media accounts combined. I think it was something like that. I read an article. I forgot what article it was, but it was something like that. But it was the most popular social media account up to this day. Now, with TikTok being gone, and this, I gotta give Trump credit. I have to give him credit. This, you may not like him. You can say what you want about Trump. I could care less about politics. In my opinion, politics just make zero sense and are stupid. But I got to give it to Trump. He is a very smart businessman. I'm not gonna hate the player. I hate the game, but I'm not gonna hate the player, because He knows what he's doing. Him saying that he's going to give TikTok a 90-day grace period by signing an executive order basically means I want you all to stream the inauguration, because think about it. This just happened, right? You got to look at it from this perspective. This just happened. Today's the 19th. Tomorrow's the 20th. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's the inauguration. The inauguration is, obviously we all know what the inauguration is. Today's the 19th, tomorrow's the 20th, inauguration day, and TikTok happens to get banned today or last night. TikTok happens to get banned last night, and Trump said he's going to reinstate and give TikTok a 90-day grace period on Monday, when the most people probably around the world are going to be trying to tune into this. And streaming services are going to be through the roof, especially if he can reinstate TikTok for people to stream the inauguration. You know how much money that's going to make? At the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about how much money you can make. You got to look at all of these celebrities, entertainers, politicians, how they used to be against Trump. It's like all the richest people in the world now, they're for him. I mean, what was it? 4 years ago, Snoop Dogg was talking so much trash about Trump, and now he's going to be performing at the inauguration. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all the rich people are with Trump. Another keynote: keep a lookout for crypto tomorrow. Keep a lookout for crypto tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be one of those days. Tomorrow's gonna be one of those days where crypto is gonna be something crazy. But anyways, I digress. Trump signing an executive order on Monday, tomorrow, right on his inauguration day, is going to prove more beneficial than ever before. And if this goes through, if this TikTok ban goes through, or this TikTok 90-day grace period goes through, yeah, we're gonna see things. We're gonna see things in the world to the likes of which we haven't seen. We're gonna see TikTok blow up. We're gonna see social media blow up. We're gonna see the most viewers we've ever seen at an inauguration. And money, people are just gonna make money. Tomorrow is the day to make money. Tomorrow, if you know what you're doing, tomorrow is the day to make money. TikTok, in all honesty, social media isn't going anywhere. It's too valuable. Trump knows the value of TikTok. People know the value. People who study the market, people who know what's going on in the world, they know the value of TikTok. They know what's happening. They know how things are going to be. They know that TikTok is too valuable to just get rid of like that. Yeah, the Supreme Court, they got rid of TikTok, but signing an executive order to reinstate TikTok, bring TikTok back for a 90-day grace period. Basically what Trump is saying, basically what he's saying with this executive order is, I'm going to use this executive order and this TikTok to my own advantage, and I'm going to make money tomorrow on my inauguration day. And then after that, I could care less what happens to TikTok. You guys can cancel it all again if that's how you feel. He's smart. He thinks. I can't even lie. He's smart. Obviously, we're going to see what happens. Those are my 4 theories of what could potentially happen with this TikTok. And in all honesty, all 3 of them, except the very first one of people bringing common sense back and everything going back to normal, the other 3 are very plausible and very likely. I mean, 2 of them are already happening. You got people with mental breakdowns because TikTok is gone. Trump saying he's going to give TikTok a 90-day grace period. you know and as far as creating another app goes, give it a few years. Let TikTok not come back permanently. Give it a few years. Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, something completely different, give it a few years. Something's gonna come. You just got to be ready. You got to be prepared for that. You got to read the signs. You really got to see how, you really got to see how the world is. And you got to be able to read not just the topsoil of articles, not just the first sentence. You got to go beyond that. And some of these articles, a lot of these articles and these news media outlets and everything, they don't tell you the whole truth. You got to go deeper than that. Why is TikTok getting banned today of all days? Why is TikTok potentially getting reinstated for a grace period tomorrow on inauguration day? You got to ask yourself these questions. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the day to make money. Tomorrow's the day where we see people turning on each other. Tomorrow's the day where we see people switching sides, doing things for their own gain. This is beyond all that, all the extra stuff. This is beyond all that. This is after all that. This is trying to understand what is the aftermath. This is the aftermath of everything that happens. Looking long term, not even just for tomorrow, but this is looking beyond tomorrow. This is looking after this year, in the next 4 years. This is looking beyond all of that. Obviously, everybody has their own decisions. Everybody has their own talking points and things that they want to discuss. But mark my words, one of the five things that I mentioned, one of those is going to happen. Most unlikely one is uh people are going to go back to normal. Or I'm sorry, number one, people are going to go back to normal. Everything's going to be as if nothing happened. That's not going to happen. Number two, there's going to be a new app created. If TikTok doesn't come back, there will be a new app created where people can, basically, it's TikTok 2.0. Vine, TikTok and Vine combine. It'll be a new app. Number three, mental health problems are going to happen. Obviously, that's already happening, but it's going to skyrocket if TikTok doesn't come back, and with the potential of no more social media. Number four, Trump signing this executive order, and people, and him, reinstating TikTok for a 90-day grace period, and people trying to use TikTok again for that period of time, and then he's going to make a bunch of money, and then after that, he doesn't care what happens to TikTok. And last but not least, the world going into chaos because of no more social media. And to add on to five, the perfect opportunity for the US now being in chaos and shambles, perfect opportunity for people to, or for foreign invaders to take over and use this moment of weakness, this time of weakness from the US to do something, to start something, to take over, to make people turn against themselves, to turn against each other. One of those five things, I guarantee will happen. I guarantee it will happen. Just keep your eyes open and stay vigilant. That's all you can do. Keep taking care of yourself and make sure you know what it is that you're trying to do in your life so that you can focus and you can survive. Because at the end of the day, you can't, like I said, at the end of the day in my previous videos, you can't save everybody. So, try to save as many people as you can, but at the end of the day, you got to save yourself. That's all you can do at this point. See you guys in the next video.